I had heard about this story before I took my little break for my birthday and was so upset that I couldn't talk about it immediately and get it out to y'all when I heard about it. But now you're about to find out what this is. So, this individual's name is Greg Steven, and he used to be a coach at AAU in Iowa, and he has just been recently sentenced to 180 years in prison. Now, you probably got to wonder why he got that much of a sentence, because if someone gets something like that, it's serious. So this guy got those many years in prison for sex abuse and child pornography involving more than 400 boys. This guy is like almost every Catholic priest all rolled into one package, and then some. Let me go ahead and read this article. A judge sentenced an influential AAU coach to 180 years in prison on Thursday after he pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation charges involving more than 400 boys under his watch. Former Iowa Barnstormers youth basketball coach Greg Steven received the maximum sentence from U.S. District Court Judge C.J. Williams, who said that Steven deserved to spend the rest of his life in prison. The harm the defendant caused to the children is incalculable and profound. Stephen, age 43, faced a minimum of 15 years in prison and saw his pleas for leniency unanswered. So y'all hear that? He was going to get only 15 years in prison if they basically allow his plea deal to go through. Makes you wonder how much people would actually get if their plea deals didn't go through for the same crime. Williams amassed a video and image archive of 440 boys engaged in sexual acts and molested at least 15 more over a 20-year period. The boys he abused looked to him as a conduit to advance their basketball careers. He worked with the top athletes in the state, many of whom went on to receive college basketball scholarships. He believed you held the keys to the basketball kingdom, a victim's mother said in court. My son trusted you and you destroyed that. How dare you use basketball for your selfish, despicable, disgusting, self-seeking motivation? It says Steven obtained his porn collection posing as teenage girls online and coercing his players and their friends to share videos and images of themselves masturbating over the course of years. He would send explicit images of the teenage girls he identified as an exchange. He also used hidden cameras in bathrooms, hotels, and in his home and dished role players as they slept on road trips. He had a hard drive filled with digital images organized by folders named for each boy, who ranged from age 9 to 17. Steven's former brother-in-law discovered a device with some of the images while remodeling his home. Hold up, brother-in-law? You mean this piece of shit was actually married? According to court testimony, he touched boys at least 15 times during road trips between 1998 and 2018, sometimes as he shared a hotel bed with them. Steven is expected to appeal the conviction. Well, you know what? He can try to appeal all he wants, but I hope they overturn every last appeal he and his lawyers try to give. Notice that nowhere in this article does it say that that they even requested a comment from his lawyers. For what reason? There's nothing to comment on besides the fact that this guy is one of the worst people on the planet, and he's getting exactly what he deserves. To spend the rest of his life behind bars. And look at how he's looking in his mugshot. He looks like he has no shame for what he did. Many of them don't have any shame for what they did, and that makes it even worse because that lets you know what kind of psyche we're dealing with here when it comes to individuals like that. This right here was disgusting to read. Like they said, he disrobed the boys while they were sleeping on road trips, shared a bed with some of them, posed as teenage girls to get the boys to send him images or videos of them masturbating. And he did that over the course of 20 years. He is going exactly where he needs to go, but in my honest opinion, if it was left up to me, I would give him the guillotine. Now, for those of you who don't know what the guillotine is, that was used back in ancient times where they would put someone's head on a chopping block, they would seal it so they couldn't move, and they would drop a blade and it would cut the head off. But this time, I would rather the guillotine be used against a different head. Those of you who get my drift know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.